Welcome to the ARMS API video in Excel. The data shown in this video is for demonstration purposes only. All data are subject to revision. Prepared April 22nd, 2019. Before you get started, you need to make sure you have the Power Query package installed on your version of Excel. If you don't have Power Query installed, you'll want to try to access the data through Postman or through R instead of Excel. If you have the program installed, you will find the package in the toolbar. To initiate an API query from scratch, click on the API query title in the toolbar. I should also mention we have a file with several working examples and only require that a user insert their own unique API key, but in this video you are going to go through all the necessary parts required to create a query. To continue, choose the leftmost icon from Web, and lastly select Advanced. The query is written into the dialog box in the following way. The top line is the URL of the API. The rest of the query can be broken down into multiple parts, each specifying a specific API filter, such as year, the variable name, and an associated categorical variable. The syntax is mildly tricky. Each filter initiates with an ampersand, and no white spaces are allowed between the words, so use a plus sign instead. Finally, at the bottom of the dialog page, always select Accept from the pull-down menu. And in the box next to it, type application/JSON. Say you want to know the gross cash income for all farms in the U.S. by production specialty in 2015. So first we enter the URL including the API key into the top line, which I've already done, and then add each following part. For example, we enter ampersand year equal 2015, and then we do ampersand category equal to production plus specialty, and then we can do ampersand report equal farm plus business plus income, since that is the report where gross cash income is located. And lastly, include ampersand variable equal gross plus cash plus income, since that is the value of interest. Once all of the information is entered, click OK. Now click on the list, and you see a list of all of the rows that have recorded data. Next, click on the icon on the top left labeled to Table Convert. Just leave the select disclaimer as none and hit OK. Lastly, select the small gray box with arrows pointing in opposite directions next to column 1. Here you can pick which variables you want to include in your dataset. For the purpose of this video, I will download all of the variables by selecting OK. At this point, you should be able to see all of the data entries. We can now close out of this Power Query box by hitting on the X in the top right corner and selecting Keep when asked if we want to keep our changes. You should see all your data in the familiar Excel data layout. Note that Excel will keep and store your workbook queries in the file you are working in. If you want to drill down further into the data, it usually will involve specifying additional filters or parts to the query. For example, you want to get data on both gross cash income and farm liabilities by economic class and NAS regions for all survey states to compare farm economic well-being across different parts of the country for 2012, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Open the Power Query box again. First include farm plus business plus balance plus sheet to the reports, and then change out the category to NAS plus region. Then for the years we need to include 2012, 2013, 14, and 2016. Now we can include farm plus liability. Now you should just be able to hit the OK button and follow the same process we did in the first example. Once you have the data in Excel, you can use the pivot tables to examine the data further. Here's what it looks like when I put the data into a pivot table. As you can see, we have trend lines for farm liabilities and gross cash income over time with slicers for economic class and NAS regions. And as you can see, there's a lot of variation in gross cash income and farm liabilities for farms with $1 million or more in gross cash income across different regions of the country. Thank you for watching the ARMS API tutorial video in Excel. If you have any questions or would like a working copy of an Excel file pre-populated with example API queries, please email armsteam@ers.usda.gov.